Hi guys, it's Simon from Tech My Life Video, and I wanted to talk about this little guy. And I've started this video 20 times and haven't got through it. So let's try to get through this quick, concise, and let's talk about water resistance to begin with. So last week, I'll put some photos up. I was involved in an event called H2O Explosion, which was a concept dreamed up by myself and my brother-in-law who runs an events company. Mass water fight, basically. So I got very wet and the watch came through it unscathed, thankfully. So water resistance, definitely a tick next to that one. In terms of usage, how am I using the watch, and has it been worth it? Well, I use it for countdown timers and things like that. I use it for those, obviously the time, but I've got a countdown timer on the screen where I can tap and just put on a quick 5-minute timer or an egg timer or something like that. Really handy, not having to get your phone out. I use it for basic notifications, so if I get a text message or a calendar notification, a reminder, things like that. Obviously with a text message you can have a quick look, dismiss it. Every now and again I answer the phone through the watch when my phone's not handy and I can use the speakerphone. But definitely with the text messages, just being able to see them and knowing whether you need to deal with it straight away. I have replied to text messages with some of the, little animations. More so recently, even though they're going through to a phone, they still come through as a little animation. It would be nice, obviously, to have somebody with a watch to send them to. But I've been using those a little bit. I use it for the fitness tracking when I go for walks or rides and things like that. When I train on the basketball court, I put it on. It's nice to see kind of what you're achieving. So that's interesting. And that's just, for me, that's just basic monitoring. I don't kind of set targets. It's just open goal type stuff. But yeah, I find that quite convenient. Directions, I've been using it a little bit for that, where I want to kind of walk to a certain spot, just through the suburbs, and what I'll do is I'll just put it on Apple Maps, and then it will give me directions, and I can take off in any direction, and it will tell me where I need to go. So I don't need to worry about looking at my phone for directions. The watch will just tap me on the wrist and give me a little arrow left or right. Yeah, so that's been quite handy as well. So usage, happy that I bought it. I don't send a lot of messages from it. I don't dictate a lot of stuff. And I'm not using a lot of apps. I've got the weather app on there, a third-party weather app now, which has accurate weather for Australia, but not using a huge array of apps, if I'm honest. In general, I would prefer to grab my phone and have kind of a richer experience, I guess. If I want to look at basketball scores, I don't want, because if I see the score, I'm going to go, and what else happened? So in that regard, I'm using fairly minimal amount of apps. Let's talk about scratches. Now, I've got a scratch up in the top corner, a little gougey kind of scratch, and I've got a longer one which is almost a centimetre long, but it's a really thin, fine scratch. I got the deep gouging one, I think, where I leant back here. This brick wall is pretty raw, it's got some sharp edges, and I just cracked the watch on it, and I think that's when I did it. Now, initially I could feel it. I can't really feel it much anymore, because with scratches they generally have kind of a sharp kind of edge to the groove, and then it kind of rounds off a little bit, so after a few days you tend to not notice it as much, or it fills up with gunk, I don't know. It's one of those two, but you generally don't feel it. The other thing with the watch is it's not really a touchy device. You're not touching it heaps. It's not like your phone where you're typing and you're swiping. With the watch, minimal finger contact, really. I probably do that to turn the watch off or cancel a call or whatever, more than I do too much swiping on the watch. So you don't notice those little scratches. So I'm less upset about them than I would be. Now look, there was some idiot recently, now I'm idiot definitely, who got a refund for his Apple Watch. As far as I'm concerned, doesn't deserve it, shouldn't have got it. Piss off, mate. He basically got a refund for his Apple Watch because he's an idiot. He bought the watch thinking it was indestructible. And nowhere does it say that the sports one is scratch proof. It doesn't say that. It's shock resistant. The more expensive one is not as shock resistant but is scratch proof. And just do a little bit of research before you buy something. We can't be blind consumers that just buy and take no responsibility for ourselves. If you're walking down the footpath and there's, you know, a crack in the pavement and you trip over it, everybody wants to blame somebody else. It's your fault. Watch where you're going. You know, I mean, if there was a rock on the pavement that the council didn't put there and you tripped over that, you can't sue the council for that. Well, maybe you can in America, but you shouldn't be able to. We have to take some responsibility for our own actions. Yes, there are situations where it is somebody else's fault, you know, but you know, this blame culture that we have, where somebody is responsible for this. It's not me. Somebody is responsible, and they're going to pay. Is just ridiculous. So I don't think this guy should have got his money back. He got his money back, and he got to keep the watch, from what I've read. Nah, give the watch back, mate. Here, have your money, give the watch back, and piss off. You know, and no, you're not welcome in our stores. You know, I just, it's just absurd. So, yeah, that's at least my thoughts on that. I mean, I get frustrated by these things. Look, I'll wrap the video up there. If you've got an Apple Watch, let me know your thoughts. If you've got a smartwatch, let me know your thoughts on your experience with that. Love to hear in the comments down below. Please like the video and please subscribe to the channel. Love your support. It encourages me to make more videos. I want to try to get these subscribers right up, so tell your friends. Yeah, I'm Simon from Tech My Life Video. We'll see you in the next one. Alright, bye. Let's talk about a couple of things. It is very much water resistant, as it tells me something. It's giving me an update on how many times I've stood up. I don't know if it told me I just stood up then, because I don't think I did. But there you go. Thanks for that, Apple Watch. Thanks for interrupting my video. And it's cheap crap. I didn't say crap, did I? I use it for timers, for countdown timers. Timer done. Can't even remember why I had a timer on, to be honest. So, I don't know what's going on.